Good morning, y'all. Today I'm in what we always called Tiny 2.0. It's my truck, so that I could use the batteries and the solar and the energy from here. And I realized I need to cook my pot of rice and I need to sew. So I'm going to cook the rice first. It's early in the morning and I'll let it pull on the batteries because it certainly does. And even with the sun shining. So it's a lot of wattage. I think 240 watts. Is that possible? I don't know. Anyway, I just know the batteries are saying they're at 12.2 right now, which means I'm actually using battery. It's using battery quicker than the sun can charge it. So I probably should sew first rather than cook the rice. I probably should wait on the rice, but I want it out of the way. And I wanted to talk to y'all for a little while. So, how did that last video do? Well, there was so much editing. And there was so much that happened. Okay, so the water tank showed up the next day. And Tim was here. And I think I've already told you, and what I have decided I want to do as a result of having all the batteries checked and everything. I want to purchase 2 batteries to replace 2 weak batteries, and I want to purchase 2 batteries to upgrade my system and hopefully connect all the panels so that they're charging all the batteries. Then I would have 10 batteries, but I'm pretty sure that the batteries I'm looking at, which are no maintenance batteries, they're sealed, that I can combine them as long as I do 2 at a time. So it might be a lot of batteries be involved, because I would like to replace, eventually I would like to replace the acid batteries with these batteries that are no maintenance, and I think there's a gel or something in them. Sorry, I don't know all the specifics. I know enough just to get in trouble. I hear the rice starting to cook. My batteries are holding. Because I hardly ever use the ones in here except for cooking rice. Except for, I decided that maybe I should make this. Maybe I should make this my sewing. Yeah. It's already got a lot of the stuff in here that I use, so I thought, well, I can bring my sewing machine. Because this is the inverter I originally purchased in 2015. I think it was. I may have gotten it before then, but anyway. The point is, it was my original inverter, 1500 watts. It is not pure sine. Back then, I didn't even know that there was a difference. I didn't know that there were choices. I thought you bought an inverter based on, and what I did was I based it on my sewing machine, because my sewing machine does not just pull energy. It pulls energy. And so that does, you have to have your peak. That's it. It's the peak power. So I remember doing all the calculations, and 1500 watts was all that I needed. And then I discovered that it would work with my rice cooker too. And technically, a 1500 watt hairdryer would run on there if I was to use such a thing. So making preparation for Emily and George whenever they get here. And I'm not going to be able to do as much work as really needs to be done inside in order for them to stay at Pop's place. So this morning, I actually have made progress in the tiny, so that when they get here, they could actually, if I haven't managed to get it done, all that needs to be done, they can stay in the tiny and work on getting it done. So it's going to work out. And their heat source will be, hold your breath, propane. And it'll do. And it might not be that bad. I mean, it really only it's cold at night, but for the most part, you can tolerate the autumn and even into the winter in the daytime. In the warmest part of the day, it's nice. So I'm doing that. And the reason I need my sewing machine, did I say this already? Have I even explained this part? Okay, so I built Mona a doghouse big enough that I could fit in. But I had to be careful because those floorboards, I weigh a little more than Mona, but it held me. So if it held me, it should hold her. So what I did, there was a mattress that Bob had bought for camping and put in the back of his truck. And what I did was I replaced Bob's old mattress with that mattress, and that's the one that Mona's been sleeping on, because that's the one that Mona slept on when she went with Bob in the truck a lot of times. So obviously it's too big for her house. So yesterday I cut it to the size that is needed for her house. And then I had taken the cover and because it came with a zippered cover, and I took all the covers and I washed them and hung them out on the line all day. And so when I brought it back in, I put the big piece of the bed mattress into there, and then I cut off the part where the zipper is. So it makes like a big pillowcase for the one that I'm going to put in Mona's house. So that's all I have to do is sew one seam. You wouldn't think it would have taken me 3 hours so far, but it has. Because if you give a mouse a cookie, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to go read the book. If you give a mouse a cookie. Because that's what it was like. I needed my boots that were in the tiny. So I go over there and I'm like, oof, big mess. Let's see if I can clean some of this up. So I started straightening things up in there. I decided that all the fabric bins I can put under the tiny, as long as I secure the lids. I'm trying. Emily says she'll help me inventory and figure out where everything is. Because I have broken my own rule. And my rule was, if you don't know where it is, you don't really have it. There's a lot of stuff that I think I have that I don't really have because I don't know where I put it. So, I'm getting ready. Today is also a preparation day. And I have done work inside. And I still have a few more things to do there to get that finished. And I have managed, again, to delay having to go into town. And I think that Charlie, my water guy, don't you love his motto? That explains I told him, I said, that explains my summer. His tagline is for his Miracle Water Company, is that if you get your water, it's a miracle. I had anticipated him having to make 3 runs up here to fill it up. And he says 2. It's full. So, I don't really have any way of measuring it because they told me to put my hands on the side of the tank. Well, I can't tell. I can't reach that high. As you saw. Was that not the funniest video? It really looked like I was doing something, didn't it? With the water tank. Did y'all see that one? When we got the water tank delivered and I got my hands up there and I'd be holding it, all of a sudden it would move. I didn't do it. I told Wid, I said, I ain't nothing more than a sky hook, man. I have not really done anything. I couldn't get a grip on anything. And I could not make it move. When it was on the ground and I pushed it as hard as I could, it didn't move at all. So it's really funny. I was just there basically for moral support, apparently. So if you haven't seen that video, you need to go back. And if you have seen it, you need to go back with a new thinking. Also, on that video, at the very end, if you did not watch until the very end, you may have missed it. Because there was a time lapse of the storm coming in from the north. And it must have, I think it was a sunrise. Yes, it was a sunrise, because at the beginning of the video, you get where the sun is rising. Okay, so yes, it was still part of that video. I just faced the camera a different way. Well, then I walked away from it. And this is what's funny. It was a time lapse, which 30 minutes goes by in like 30 seconds. So I put it up for the end of the video, and I'm just playing it, and all of a sudden I see something really big. I was like, what's that? And I knew it. I knew it was a coyote, because Mona has stood right over there, and she has barked, aiming this way, and I look out, I can't see anything. The coyote is behind, he's out of my line of vision is what he was. He was right at the duck pen. And the muck coming out of the duck pen. I don't know what that means. So, if this is to be the introduction of the next video, I better cut it now, because it is really long. Oh my goodness. I am feeling better. I am feeling better. My neck, it's been working. I rest. I do exercises. I do stretches. I've even pulled out a hot water bottle and put heat on it. And I've got the neck extender, which actually is kind of like a little traction. And I use that a couple of times a day. So, I'm getting better. Now, you know how I am. I just can't wait to taste it. And I can't think of anything else I need to tell you now. So, I'll just tell you.